Так, всем привет, продолжаем играть Святого Катара. В прошлый раз мы закончили на том, что я пошел искать вроде лодку. Кого-то мужика мне надо найти.
An old boat. It's covered with a tarp.
Пошли. Что за следы? Что за следы?
I see pentagrams, and the letters V, M, I, and K. These are witch marks, carvings created to ward off evil spirits from the house.
Давай постучимся.
Arson?
Who is it?
It's Benedict, sir. Sorry to disturb you, but I've been told you could help me.
Who told you that?
A boy named Anton?
What do you want?
Ну, открыл. Бля, что у вас с рожами?
Is that boat over there yours?
What are you, Benedict?
What do you mean?
I don't know you. You don't live here. Who are you?
I am Benedict Dochnani. I serve God.
You are a priest.
A monk from Budapest.
Good. We shall continue this conversation then.
Давай, давай. Ебать вопросов нахуй.
About the boat.
You can't have it.
Oh, I didn't mean... I've never used one. I thought that maybe you could go with me.
No. The boat is occupied and no one can use it. And even if it wasn't, I am too old and too weak to board it.
Occupied by what?
You have my permission to uncover the top.
Why don't you just tell me?
It's better if you see it with your own eyes.
Ну, допустим.
Do you know anyone else who could lend me a boat?
No one goes to the lake. There are no other boats.
That's a lie. What about the boat at the lodge?
You don't want to find yourself on that one. It belongs to the asylum. I'm the only one with a boat. No other inhabitant has one.
Ну, значит, мне надо на твоей лодке, ну, по-любому.
Nothing here, and it's dangerous.
I need to get to the other side of the lake. It's important.
You can walk or swim.
How long would it take me to get to Klek on foot?
Click. Probably a day.
The lake doesn't look inviting to dip in, and it's cold.
Didn't you just say it's important? If it is, you can do it. Why would you want to visit that damned locality?
Можешь
The man
меня
I'm trying
мужика
to find
похитить?
could be there.
You strangers. Why even come to this town?
It wasn't my choice.
Either way, you are a captive now. We are all captives of this place. Imprisoned souls waiting for our savior.
Sir, with all due respect, this town needs a legion of exorcists to be saved.
It needs just one soul with pure faith. One man, one soul to free us all.
What places do you recommend I visit
Ну,
while
те
I'm
же
in
самые
town?
разговоры,
You
что
don't get to
они были с
explore
другими.
this place. If it doesn't devour you first, then only by the grace of God did you escape its swallow. We are surrounded by Carcassa in every direction. The Udav mountain above us. No animals live in this valley, except for the damned crows. Nothing grows or breathes inside these waters. We see death everywhere.
People still live here. It amazes me.
This is a valley of righteous men and women. We may be scared. With one
Короче, ничего интересного тут не говорит.
What did last...
You were there?
Unfortunately.
I never do. I don't like crowded places. But we torch it every year on the day of our patron saint, Ivan Kotar. The giant symbolizes a member of the Saboran tribe.
Yesterday was...
The day Ivan Kotar was murdered.
Murdered?
Yes, we celebrate, nay, glorify the final moment of Kotar's
Who murdered him?
decapitated by Vatican emissaries.
For what reason?
Accused of allying himself with the darkness. Poor man gave his life for this town and its inhabitants.
Угу.
Only
Значит, мужика с нашего города казнили, понятно.
and ultimately slain like an animal.
The more I hear about this town and its mysteries, I just can't believe it. What do you do here?
Trying to stay alive for as long as
Прикольное у
possible.
него место, на
I
самом
mean,
деле. Такой
what do you
домик
do
на
for a
озере
living?
прям.
I sell fish.
That old camper across the bridge is yours?
Yes, it was home to my parents before they settled in Sveti Kotar. They were,
Wanderers?
I wanted to say, fools. I loved them, but fuck,
We don't get to pick our parents.
maybe it's not love.
You fish in the lake?
I never did. The water is our fish are sent to me every once in a while from other regions in Croatia. I have friends, mostly.
Угу.
Have you seen a female stranger lately?
No,
No? Without
no one visits me except Ida.
What do you know about the moon ghouls?
They are everywhere. In the water, in the town, and the
Mala? What is that?
It's what you strangers call fog. Hell, even some
The moon ghouls?
Mala is not what it seems to be. It is not fog. You feel any humidity? Have you noticed the ground?
It is completely dry.
Because Mala is not a mass of water particles.
What
И
is
что это
Mala
тогда
then?
The
действительно?
remains of dead subor. They think if they don't pronounce the
Like I said and thought 100.
we just need one man.
Did you know Yakov Prenger?
He was our priest and a good friend of mine.
I heard he disappeared.
On a form,
And that's it?
I'm afraid all we
Ну
Excuse me.
ладно. Блядь, если все слушаете диалоги, заебешься. Причем новое, они ничего не говорят. Ну и что там под этим брезентом? Труп?
Oh my god!
Ну, я так и думал.
I've never seen a wood so dark in color as this one. It's almost like coal. 2 bodies. 2 children. Long dead.
Дети, что ли?
Why the priest's robe and nun's habit?
Нет, 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 нет. Ну-ка, давай спросим у него, что за хуйня. Ну, переложи их на землю и катись сам на ней. В чем проблема?
It's me again. You keep the corpses of 2 children in your boat?
My father and mother were small people.
Нет, отец.
Midgets, as some would say,
What are they doing in there?
laying peacefully in their temporary grave.
A temporary grave?
They were recently exhumed, and I had to take care of them.
I don't understand. Who exhumed them?
Henry, the priest of Sveti Kotar, he banished me from the church, and so my parents had to move out from the town's graveyard. Soil outside the...
They were clergy?
No. I dressed them as such to protect their bodies. The moon ghouls eat flesh.
Why the massive cross on top?
To protect them from the moon ghouls. Faith is the only thing that wards them off.
Они же трупы, они не нужны, наверное,
Was
этим
it
упырям.
torched? The wood is very dark.
I made it from the trees that grow behind my house. I would never torch a cross.
What sin have you committed to have been banished?
Son, we are all original sinners, waiting for redemption.
We are, but you did something to deserve it.
God knows that is not the truth. Listen, talk to Henry. Reason
Блять,
with him.
поговорить с этим, потом поговорить с тем, чтобы сделать что-то, что
Why would I
вернется
do that?
туда, блять,
Because you
пиздец.
need the boat. If Henry accepts, I could move my parents back into their grave and the boat would be free.
Сейчас
again.
Генри скажет мне
An
что-то еще
opportunity
сделать.
to fulfill Father Imre's wish as well. I'll see what I can do.
He's not an easy man to talk to, but maybe he'll be more reasonable with you, monk.
Ах,
Where can I find his church?
The Church of Ivan Kotar. Go back through the square, find the police station, then follow the alley to your right. Just be sure not to stray into Kuga. Wicked, evil.
Угу.
You have no intention of telling me what you did?
I don't know. One day.
Excuse.
Ну ладно. Блин, на самом деле здесь виды такие прикольные. Вообще охуенно.
This drawing reminds me of an ichthys, a secret symbol of early Christians.
А все, типа отсюда нет никакого выхода больше? Нет, вот. Он пойдет сюда? Это же через лес вроде проход. Да он застыт опять. Блять, налево, вперед. Чё? Куда нахуй? Ну давай сходим на кладбище.
Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for you are with me.
Чё, какой круг?
It's man-made, in the form of a sacred shape. A black magic circle for rituals.
Сколько здесь проходов-то, пиздец. Я ебу.
Even a mere tree root looks evil in this place. I feel it will grab me at any moment. As if the trees are just waiting for me to pass by and close the passage for all eternity.
Давай пойдем вперед. Я где вообще? А. Ну ладно, подожди, давай сходим назад. Смотрим, что вот здесь вот.
That path seems to lead nowhere. All I see are rotten tree trunks and naturally formed mounds.
Да.
As if the
Ну ладно. Так, одну дорогу замкнули, хорошо.
The accursed Henna River, lifeless and noxious.
То же самое скажешь?
The accursed.
Так, вот проход. Давай сюда сходим, попробуем.
I can see the belfry of the Church of Mary in the distance. The police are still there. I can see the bell.
Что это значит, полиция все еще там, блядь? Да иди давай уже. Давай сюда сходим. Блядь, сколько здесь проходов, пиздец.
Strange looking rocks, like scars of a long forgotten battle. I wonder what forces sculpted them to look the way they look now.
Ну, а это куда путь тогда? Блядь, и сюда можно пройти. Да ебать, я запутался уже к хуям. Ой, там он, мужик висит.
It's a peculiar type of small, crawling tree. I guess the red color of the leaves has something to do with the fact that it's the end of October. A very weird and creepy form they have. It's like looking at a petrified herd of giant spiders. Dear God, those are corpses. Not that it gives me much comfort, but at first I thought they were
Вот тебя
ghosts.
вообще не смущает, что здесь
Natural
трупы
gallows.
висят?
With their long, strong branches, these trees serve as a perfect opportunity for those who want to commit the mortal sin of suicide. I wish unto these poor souls eternal torment in the afterlife.
Какая нахуй разница, что они суицид-то, блядь, совершили? Чё их теперь? Вечными муками, что ли, этого? Долбоёб ты, блядь, священник. Пиздец. Я не хочу за него играть, он какой-то, блядь, дебил. Блядь, я выйду уже из этого леса, нет, куда-нибудь? Ебать, избушка, нахуй, на курьих ножках.
It's a very tall tree, and there seems to be something similar to a house in the treetop. It's inhabited by dozens, if not hundreds of crows? Damn scavengers. They are everywhere. They are placed in a way to form a strange triangle, like a sacred space for rituals. Each has 3 shallow holes on a flat top in a triangle formation. It looks very old, ancient, and so I wonder how could it resist the weather? Logs and grass rot very quickly.
Стучись давай. Может, кто будет тут?
I don't think it's locked, but rather blocked by something heavy on the floor inside. I struggle to find a reason to do that.
Что будет, если ты...
I struggle to find a...
Типа, все, я просто сюда приперся. Пиздец, ну ладно. Прикольная избушка. Не на курьих ножках, конечно, но...
I can see the belfry of the Church of Mary in the distance.
Что значит полиция все еще там-то, я не понимаю. Давай, иди уже сюда. Так, ну я сейчас выйду, получается, на первоначальную развилку. Давай я пойду, допустим, налево. Так, значит, здесь единственная дорога в ту странную избушку, короче. Ладно. Тут там дорога на озеро, получается, в гостинице. А, вот это куда я пришел. Ну окей.
Which path should I take?
Через лес давай пошли. Ну, в принципе, стало полегче все. Более-менее разобрался. Ну, еще быстро пришел. Ебать. Где я, кстати, сам? Так, а здесь-то что? Блять, а что я из этого осматривал? Я, короче, увидел, что здесь есть достижение за то, чтобы осмотреть все вот эти вот бумажки здесь. Но ничего интересного у них нет.
We are all captives of this place, imprisoned souls waiting for us. Darkness, shrieking, trembling. You left me in the mine.
Так, запись-то идет? Запись идет. Давай пятый.
My days and nights are nearly over, so let me thank you for everything. Yesterday, I followed a swarthy old woman into the forest. I don't know if it was an apparition. I don't know the reason why I did it. It was all blackness and silence. The dead are disappearing and the believers are...
Может, с ними еще о чем-то
He
поговорить
who
нужно будет.
confesses obtains mercy. I was... I had a vision of Ivan Kotar. He led me into the king...
Короче, главный здесь еще
Find
бармен,
their
он вообще
power,
крутой, блядь,
prevent
такой.
their progress. That's it. I've read them all. This wall is just more
смысле?
proof
Там еще
how
11-й
backwards
есть.
and horrible a place Sveti Kotar is. It's a nightmare.
Вот 11-й.
Voices now carry shadow.
Ну ладно. Ты можешь взять топор и разломать, кстати, эту дверь?
I'm not a thief. It's just a mock-up of a strange...
Ну-ка, о чем там с ним может заново поговорить можно?
Excuse me.
What do you want?
Are you a taxidermist?
A what?
Do you prepare dead animals for fun?
I enjoy slaughtering them. I love my job.
So you are a butcher?
I prefer slaughterman. Why? What's this all about?
I was asking myself about that poor pig and its head displayed like a trophy.
You have a problem with that?
It's missing an eye, and
And?
I believe it's a mortal sin to torture defenseless animals.
You know why? Because you are one of them. Like a sheep who follows words and moral codes, you feel endangered, vulnerable, and mortal.
It's actually the other way. I feel...
You don't feel bad or sorry or sad for that pig. You're terrified because you see your own head on that wall.
Ну, в
It's
чем-то он прав.
pointless to argue with this man. I have better things to do.
Nothing to say. Good.
Where could I get a boat?
Are you kidding me?
Why?
Just walk along the shoreline and pick one up. The town is letting people use them for free to encourage fishing.
You can't be serious. The lake is dead.
I love it.
About the boat. What can I do?
The only fool to have one is that old fisherman. Dead fisherman? I haven't seen him for a while.
Excuse me.
Так, ну пошли, короче, тут ничего нет интересного. Так, ну-ка давай, может она мне что-то еще скажет. Интересные новые разговорчики. Почему тут не проходит уже то,
It
что я
evokes a
видел?
repulsive feeling. Tiny chairs of torture and
Потому что я не помню, что я
statues and
смотрел.
death masks. They look so awkward. Weird A strange tiny... Madam?
Hello.
Да мы что разговаривали.
You knew Yakov Prenger?
Our former priest. I knew who he was, but I never really had a chance to speak to him. Why?
I heard he went missing.
Many people still go missing, vanishing without trace, as if they never existed. I heard this about Yakov too. Sorry I couldn't tell you more, but I really don't know anything else.
Your last name is Lovnyak, right?
Not a hard guess. It's on the sign.
Melita is your mother?
She is... was. Why?
What happened to her?
We don't know. She just disappeared. Exactly 5 years ago yesterday.
Did she die or just go missing?
I remember it as if it were yesterday. We went to the church, prayed, wore the disciple dresses, scared some kids. So much fun and joy. A long time ago she came up with these crazy thoughts. When I grow up, we will have a day only for us. Just the two of us, without father. And so, over the years, it became a tradition. Father was so jealous, but happy. We were all happy. Anyway, tired and feeling sick, I chose to go home that day, right before the effigy ritual.
Ну, походу,
I'm
батя
sorry,
что-то
I shouldn't have
написал.
asked.
It's all right. On my way out of here, I turned around and she looked at me with those beautiful green eyes, and I remember seeing them change color. Her neck bent awkwardly, both eyeballs instantly became blood red, and I heard her
Что
scream,
они?
even if her mouth didn't open. We don't know what exactly happened to her, but since it was a full moon night, we just knew.
Я еще никаких призраков
Forgive
не
me,
видел.
but
Ни упырей, никого.
you didn't ask around if anyone saw something?
Father did, and the only information he managed to get after all these years is that she was last seen entering the Carcassa forest, alone.
So she wasn't actually taken away.
Of course she was. I don't believe what the police said. Why would she go into the forest on her own? She was terrified of it. It just doesn't make any sense.
Something is off here.
Да, что
Are
здесь
you
не
sure
так.
her eyes changed color?
Absolutely. Why?
You said they were blood red, right?
Correct.
The same color as the leaves on this tiny tree you have.
So?
Maybe in the moment you saw the blood red color of the leaves, your mind just thought it was her eyes.
No, Benedict. Her neck bent and her eyes turned blood red, and I heard her scream.
Memories can
Это
be deceitful.
слишком...
I planted
Странно.
this tree after she went missing, because the color of its leaves reminded me of that day. It reminds me of her. And my guilt. Notice the vase. That's her. That's my mother's face. I recreated her entire head.
Surely a morbid way to remember a loved one.
Чё ужасно, у каждого свой способ заебал, блядь.
Do you know anyone who could lend me a boat?
There's only one man with a boat in this town, and his name is Arsen.
Are you completely sure? The lake is huge. There should be more of them.
It's Arsen or nothing. What do you need a boat for?
I needed to get to Klek.
Beware, Klek is on the list of forbidden places. You think Victoria is there?
Could be.
Then I wish you luck. Try talking to Arsen. I think...
Ладно,
Excuse
всё,
me.
пошел.
Sure.
Так, ну давай. Так, это библиотека, знак, статуя. Так, ну давай сходим сюда. На это я обратно пришел. Ну ладно. Здесь мне делать нечего. Я уже просто не понял, куда идти-то. Объявлений. Не, я смотрел разве?
For some people.
А, да, смотрел. Так, ну тут я уже был, конечно, но мало ли вдруг что-то поменялось, надо еще раз зайти. Звонок.
I'm not a pest.
Ну ладно, тогда не будем. Пойдем вперед. Здесь я еще не был вроде бы. Качели. Карусели.
Its ropes bear some resemblance to hangman's nooses. Makes sense for a town like this.
Бля, опять миллион путей каких-то нахуй. Я просто, бля, уже заебался запоминать все это, куда там я могу
A
пойти.
mailbox? Not sure. It looks strange.
Как? Покажи мне. Я же не вижу, блядь, как он выглядит.
I'm not going into the police station. I would risk being taken in for questioning, and they could be conspiring with Kotar.
Ну ладно. Пойдем сюда.
Ivan Kotar, born in 1159, died in 1218.
Можно зайти сюда, можно. Чё, зачем мне сюда?
I have nothing to do in there. I'm sinless.
Нихуя себе, блядь, безгрешно.
There's a time and place to talk to him. This is not one of them.
Сначала труп посмотри. Что за труп?
It's an embalmed priest, decapitated. His head is laying on a golden plate.
The Vatican declared him a traitor, an ally of the evil forces. Can you imagine that?
Father Henry?
Henry Istrator, and you are?
Benedict.
A fellow man of the cloth,
Откуда
certainly.
ты знаешь?
What gave me away?
Your aura. And of course, the tiny crosses on your sleeves. You were saying your name?
Benedict Dochnani.
Ah, Victoria's brother.
Откуда ты
We
знаешь?
finally meet. What can I do for you, Brother Benedict?
You met my sister?
Did I meet her? Who knows? Do I know of her? Yes, as every person, crow, and rat in this town.
Ты можешь прямо
But
говорить?
how do you know we are relatives?
I have infinite power, and I am highly respected. When word spreads, it reaches my ears first.
I have a theory of what happened here, but I'd like to know more so that I can solidify it. You know much. Maybe you can help me.
I'm here for you, brother.
What can you tell me about the mayor of Sveti Kotar?
Ranko Merzel, a lurid creature, far worse than his father ever was. Corrupt, full of sin and
Это которого
unscrupulous.
повесили?
Gullible as well. He never saw his death coming, even though he knew he was chased by it.
Это другой не
I
помню.
was called to bless his soul before the funeral. Not going to. The very thought of
ну
it
да,
sickens me.
Who was Ranko's father?
Fran Merzel. He and our former priest Yakov founded Marov Asylum.
I welcomed the decision, but not anymore. Things changed quickly, and the asylum mutated into the same thing
Короче,
it
он чуть
originally
людей там
tried to
по-любому.
uproot.
And what would that be?
Marov became an island of terror and death for the Catholic community, instead of being a shield that protects it. It was founded with the goal to heal the unfaithful ones, and more importantly, to identify, catch, and execute the Saborans. Now it's a place where our brothers and sisters go and never return from. Healthy individuals full of faith just vanish. Fran had his share of sins, but he founded Marov with sincere intentions to help the town. Little did he know at the time the evil seeds he had planted.
Ranko was chased by death?
Nermin, his brother, the worst of the Merzel family, worst of all men, an incarnation of evil. Although coming from a Catholic family, from the day of his birth it was clear there was something dreadfully wrong with him.
Что
I
именно
don't know
не
him
так?
well, nobody does. But everyone knows about his deeds.
Chief Noren said he is a moon ghoul.
True, he is a Saboran. Some say even the current leader of their cult. He was once incarcerated in the asylum, but managed to escape. No one can find him anymore. I guess there is not enough will.
Ну,
It's not about
мертвый
the will
высказался,
to
не особо
find
опасно.
Nerman. He's just a tiny shadow in a starless sky. People in this town dread things they cannot see or feel. The unknowable. They fear it because
You're talking about the moon ghouls now, right?
that is just a name for the weak. Call them by their true name. The Saborans. The Saborans are not unknowable. They are an ancient tribe that glorifies death, disease,
Ну, я же говорил, ничего
and
такого нет.
pain. Cannibals who cultivate morbid rituals as part of their religion. Sekvra.
Каннибалы?
I've heard that name before, somewhere.
You heard it because there was a book of the same name, the original copy of which was lost in the 15th century.
Yes, it all happened during the Valais witch trials.
Dark times fell upon that place because of the book. It vanished with its author, a witch by the name of Jadwiga Mazrak. You can see the Saborans are not a complete mystery.
Все объяснил.
Things we cannot
Всё
possibly
объяснил.
understand are, my brother, the forces and entities this tribe worships. Only madness and death await those who manage to understand. It is what happened to Ivan Kotar, after all. Let's leave this subject. I cannot possibly recount centuries of their history in the reasonable time I have now. Maybe one day you'll be able to read the pamphlet I've written on them. Maybe.
Тогда я его сейчас прочитаю. Ну, он, во-первых, объяснил мне про мэра, про его брата вроде, да, что он там главный этот соборянин. Все эти полулунные упыри — это просто секта каких-то там каннибалов, то ли чё, и все, нет никаких сверхъестественной хуйни. И кошка по-любому это не князь какой-то обычный. Обычный кот. Не могу еще только понять, вот когда этого Николая похитили, там какие-то черные круги появились, как будто бы там призраки, вот это еще непонятно. Ну, в остальном все более-менее.
Tell me about the asylum's warden.
Hatur. As the head of the asylum, I know he is somehow involved in the conspiracy against the Catholics. I'm the only person in this town who openly criticizes him, the chief, and the mayor. In one way or another, they are all acting against God, and possibly fallen under the influence of the Saborans. What interests you about him?
My sister's husband went missing after visiting him at the lodge.
Nikolai. He was kidnapped. But I feel there is more you want to say.
Victoria met with Hatur last night. They talked, and I still can't understand what happened to her.
So I was right. This sheds new light on the warden and the tribe.
Какой новый свет?
Not so much on her.
You think my sister joined the tribe?
I do, although I don't know how. Have you seen any changes in her lately?
That is a question for her husband. After our father disappeared, I went into monkhood. Since then, I barely see her.
When things start to look bad, some people think it's God's fault. Instead of showing him more love, they turn away from him. They don't realize it is only then, when they decide to forget him, that they start to wither their own souls. Sometimes they don't just wither, but rot. Rot until it is too late to get off the path that leads to hell.
The warden is meeting with the Saborans. A boy told me.
What boy?
Anton. He saw them meeting more than once.
Our protege? I knew he had been sneaking out, just couldn't prove it.
He saw Hatur
No,
taking
what?
Nikolai away to a locality called Klek.
I've never visited that hill, but everyone knows what that place is. The boy could be right.
Victoria abandoned God. I can feel it in my heart. She did it. The same happens to our aunt. She abandoned God, turned her faith to strange beliefs, and experienced a dreadful death.
It doesn't matter what you feel and what I believe. You have to find the whole truth. It is your responsibility. find your sister and the truth that is
Вообще
hiding
адекватный
with her.
священник.
I would risk going to the stake if I had to choose whether she is guilty or not. This town has many possible sources of evil.
Where should I look for her?
Begin with Kleck. You might find her there with your brother.
Ну, блин, туда нужна лодка, чтобы мне получить лодку, нужно что-то там одного мужика, это, простил.
What other sources of evil?
Everyone, including those who impose the so-called law. Everyone could be evil, even those who claim to be faithful. Keep your eyes open.
A man that goes by the name Yakov Prenger. Was he a former priest of this church?
He preceded me.
Это я про эту женщину ищу, того мужика, да?
I heard he went missing.
True. He was the warden of the asylum before Ranko became mayor. Then, one night, he just disappeared.
Any ideas what happened to him?
He was kidnapped by the Saborans and became their prey, the usual for this town. The new warden got him imprisoned because he knew too much? Or maybe that poor blind lady killed him because he couldn't love her the way she loved him. It's a mystery.
Was he a good warden?
Better than Hatur? Yes. Good? No.
Ну, то есть уже
He
неплохо,
was
в
too
принципе.
soft and hesitant. We could have done so much more regarding the war against the Saborans.
Теперь, короче, везде эти
Seems to me you're holding a
соборяне.
grudge against him. Am I wrong?
We never liked each other. He was sent by the Vatican to take my place here. The Vatican, which for centuries never tried to contact anyone in this town, sends a man to take my seat?
Ну, правильно,
Do
охуел, что
nothing
ли?
but step down. Yes, I hated him as much as I hate the Vatican. And I'm grateful to whoever made him disappear.
How come there's nothing in the Vatican's official archives about Sveti Kotar?
Because of Ivan Kotar. This town has an open dispute with the Vatican.
Так
because of him.
урегулируйте.
First, they sent emissaries to execute him. Then they denied the authorities to name this town in his honor. We did what was right, named him a patron saint. The Vatican is run by a mass of hypocrites.
It's the Holy See we are talking about here. There's nothing closer to God.
Nothing closer to God? Just because they said so centuries again? How can they ignore what Kotar
Вот-вот.
did here? Maybe they are now aware of their own mistakes from the past, but have done absolutely nothing to mend them.
You cannot question their decisions. It's like questioning the Bible.
Это вообще разные вещи, блядь,
Brother,
мужик.
let's agree we don't agree and leave it there. We have other things to worry about right now.
I've never heard of a priest talking about the church in this way. Unacceptable. But
Эй, как ты меня заебал, а?
this, along with other things I've learned until now, might be enough information for Father Imre. What about your dispute with Arsen?
Where did you meet that fool?
Мне
He's
лодка
my
нужна,
only
мужик.
chance to get across the lake, and
You need his boat to get to Kleck. So why didn't he give it to you? He doesn't need it. He's dying due to that vampire of his.
Какого вампира?
what vampire?
Didn't you talk to him?
I did.
And you didn't notice that hideous dark thing on his neck?
Нет.
No?
That fool got himself a parasitic giant worm. A leech he named Hem.
That's disgusting. But what is the reason you banned him?
I'm telling you, it's Hem. That thing was born and found deep inside the Carcassa forest. It's evil.
Can't he just get rid of it?
Arson believes Hem was sent to him from God. Can you believe it? He gave it a name and looks to it as
Короче,
his
блядь,
own
вообще отбитый
child.
какой-то нахуй.
His parents are inside the boat. Did you exhume them?
Of course I didn't. I ordered the gravekeeper to do it. Arsen and his family are not welcome here anymore.
Прикинь,
The man
лицемеруешь.
is not evil, merely a fool who let evil do upon
Ну
him.
так а его родители-то при чем, блядь?
So what now? Anywhere else I could get a boat?
He is your only chance. And it seems like you are his only chance as well, if it's not too late.
What do you mean?
If he accepts to kill Hem, I promise I will think about reintegrating him and his family into our church again. But I need proof. I need to see Hem dead.
You will just think about reintegrating him, or you will do it?
I'll do it.
Immediately after I give you a dead Hem.
I promise.
Ну ладно.
How do you expect him to kill the thing he sees as his own child?
That is the tricky part. I already tried to persuade him. Now it's your turn. If you succeed, you will get what you want.
Excuse me.
Ну я вроде
Of
сюда
course.
говорю.
Strange. The sculpture of Jesus is not nailed to the cross, as it should be, but rather just tied up. It's an embalm. His head.
The Vatican.
Ну это уже все было. Так, ладно. Священник объяснил вообще многие вещи. Спуяли, блядь, не запрещено. Это же выход, нет? Давай я сюда зайду просто. А нет, такая другая дверь.
It's locked.
А у меня нет ключей? Хуя нет. Ну ладно. Так. Еще какой-то проход куда-то, бляха. И здесь тоже проход. Да ебаный в рот, я уже заебался
I
запоминать
can
эти
see the
проходы.
school from here. I'm not going in. It's the district Arsen told me to stay away from.
А ты чё ему веришь, что у него
The
будет?
street is a dead end that leads to the cemetery. I'm not comfortable going in a place like that without a good reason.
Ну, допустим, ладно. Так, там еще два места было слева от полицейского участка, надо проверить, куда они ведут. Давай сюда сначала.
It's a long road that follows the river uphill and into the forest. I'm not going. I don't know where it would take me.
Ну ладно, а здесь что? Тоже район какой-то стрёмный.
I have no reason to go that way.
Ну, в принципе, я более-менее как-то все замкнул это. Так, родители. Почему я не спросил, кстати? Так, мне теперь к этому мужику надо идти. Убеждать там его в чем-то. Так, может быть, я еще с этими могу поговорить? Вроде ничего с ними важного не должно произойти, никаких я новых важных вещей не узнал, но мало ли.
I've talked to Father Henry about Yakov. Is it true he was sent by the Vatican? Strange, but true. Why do you think it's strange? town has dispute with Vatican. They never visit, we never talk to them. Then after so long, they just send a priest? It's nothing uncommon, believe me. What about Henry? He told me he never liked Yakov. What happened between them? Yakov hated him. He told me Henry is insane, no methods in thinking. He wants everything and he wants it now. Can you tell me the details? I don't know details. Yakov kept a lot of his troubles from me. He is a secretive man, full of mysteries.
Мне кажется, он просто уехал и
Maybe
её
that
кинул.
is one reason why I love him so much. Excuse.
Ну, пошли. Давай, беги, 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 беги. Так, она нам что-нибудь расскажет?
Never mind.
Ничего. Ну ладно, тогда на этом закончим. Увидимся в следующей серии.